All right, next up is exercise and movement. This particular factor was not in the original book, Radical Remission. Dr. Turner added this when she wrote Radical Hope. Now, that's because in that first book, she was talking to people who'd been through conventional treatment, and most of them had been sent home on hospice care. So they really weren't able to exercise in the traditional sense of the word. They couldn't go to the gym and they couldn't do the marathons they used to do. But because exercise and physical activity has been so well studied and shows such a positive outcome for prevention and getting through treatment and overcoming and preventing recurrence, Dr. Turner really wondered why this hadn't come up. So she went back to review all of her work and talk to some of those survivors again. What she found was that those radical remission survivors were actually moving their bodies as much as they could when they could. So they weren't doing the exercise that maybe they used to do. So they didn't consider their physical activity exercise, but they were moving and doing what they could when they were physically able. So this just tells us that it doesn't need to be formal or intense exercise. And we should probably reframe it from exercise to physical activity. Because even if you're bedridden, physical therapy is recommended and can be very helpful for you. So you can't get out of bed, but you can have someone else moving your body or helping you get out of bed to start working up to and building up your strength. So exercise or physical activity rather did come up as a healing factor in the initial research, but it wasn't a factor that was getting utilized to the fullest extent based on that notion that it had to be strenuous. So if we reframe it to physical activity and we think of those things that we do in our daily lives, like a walk or physical therapy or our household activities or the yard work and gardening that we do, those less formal, less structured movements and physical activities are helping our bodies in ways that the scientific evidence reports. So just consider that running an errand, doing your gardening, taking a fast-paced walk, going up the steps of your home, using stairs instead of elevators, or if you're still weak and trying to recover, just walking around the dining room table can all be considered movement or physical activity. And the latest scientific research shows that moderate to intense activity is one of the best things a cancer patient can do to support their healing. So the American Cancer Society and the American College of Sports Medicine have concluded decisively that exercise is not only feasible and safe during cancer treatment, but that it can improve your physical functioning, reduce your fatigue, and enhance quality of life during treatment. So another thing to continue doing if you're undergoing chemotherapy and treatment, maintain your exercise program as much as you can. Maybe you need to modify it, take it down a notch or two. That's okay, but keep moving, keep doing something physical, because that growing body of evidence demonstrates the effectiveness of exercise on cancer prevention, treatment support, and reduction in recurrence, and improvement in your survival rates. This particular study is one I absolutely love to share with people. This is a study, they studied whether the relationship between exercise and health is moderated by one's mindset. So this is where mindset matters, and it comes into play in this particular study. They took, excuse me, they took 84 female room attendants working in hotels and measured their physiological health variables that would be affected by exercise. Those in the informed group were told that the work they do cleaning hotel rooms is good exercise, and it satisfies the Surgeon General's recommendations for an active lifestyle. They were given examples of exactly how their work was exercise. So they were told how vacuuming, how many calories it burned, how much making a bed would burn calories, or scrubbing a tub, etc. And then the subjects in the control group weren't given any of that information. Now, although actual behavior did not change, 4 weeks after the intervention, that informed group perceived themselves to be getting significantly more exercise than before. As a result, compared with the control group, they showed a decrease in their weight, their blood pressure, their body fat, their waist to hip ratio, their body mass index, etc. These results support the hypothesis that exercise affects health in part or in whole via the placebo effect. So in summary, it's clear that there's evidence that supports that adding or continuing to exercise or move your body, even while undergoing cancer treatment, is a really good idea. And for these hotel room attendants, just the perception that they were getting exercise made all that difference in just 4 weeks. So I recommend that everybody take to heart that your household chores, you're walking up and down the stairs in your home or in your office building or wherever you go, those things that you're doing are physical activity and make for an active lifestyle. And that will help you achieve a more active lifestyle and the benefits as such. All right, next up is changing your diet. So this one, unfortunately, isn't one single diet, no silver bullet here. Everybody would love to be told, what should I eat to cure my disease? What should I eat to go into remission? What Dr. Turner learned from the research was that the radical remission survivors did a lot of different things when it came to their diets. So many of them did do specific diets. Maybe they were vegan or ketogenic or plant-based or macrobiotic. However, there was an overall sweeping trend, and they were all greatly reducing or sometimes even eliminating meat, meaning processed red meat, and in place of that, choosing high quality meat and eating smaller portions and less often. Also, those trends included reducing or eliminating wheat, specifically gluten and refined grains. And the more healthy choice was to choose the whole grains and certainly non-GMO grains. They also reduced and eliminated sweets and refined sugars and the highly processed foods and the sugar-sweetened beverages. You've probably heard a lot about this during the Real Truth About Health, that giving up the highly processed foods is really a good idea. Nobody's going to dispute that. They also reduced and eliminated dairy products. They may have chosen high quality dairy and again, eaten less of it less often, or they found non-dairy replacements. And what they did do was replace those things with vegetables and fruits, making at least 50% of each meal or snack comprised of vegetable or fruit. I'll go back just for a minute and say too that water is important, being hydrated is important, clean filtered water. But when it comes to diet, there isn't any one thing. You need to pay attention to your body, what you need, what your diagnosis and your genetics tell you you need. And you need to find perhaps a practitioner, an oncology nutritionist that can help you, someone that knows what does a body good and how best to deal with your diagnosis, your disease. And, while we'd love to have that one diet, what we know is more fruits and vegetables, more fruits and vegetables, and really cleaning up our diet and doing the best we can is important. But don't stress out about what you're eating. The stress will be worse for you than what you're going to eat. So if you're faced with a situation you can't find anything that really meets your needs, eat the best option possible and don't stress out over it. And then when you can, when you're home, you can do the best possible for your body.